Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Spring break travelers faced long waits at major U.S. airports this weekend, even as President Donald Trump signed an executive order to immediately pay Transportation Security Administration officers. The goal: ease security lines that have been growing during the partial government shutdown. The order directs the Department of Homeland Security to get TSA officers paid as soon as Monday, though it is not yet clear when airport lines will feel relief. Many officers have gone without pay since February 14, and nearly 500 have resigned during the shutdown. Nationwide, more than 11.8% of scheduled TSA employees missed work Thursday, creating hours-long waits for passengers. At Philadelphia International Airport, one traveler reported waiting nearly 3 hours to get through screening, missing her flight in the process. Similar reports emerged from Baltimore-Washington International Airport, where officials warned travelers to arrive 4 hours early amid unprecedented wait times. Former TSA officer Caleb Harmon-Marshall says staffing shortages may continue until officers are confident pay will be sustained. Some airports have had call-out rates of 40% or more, further straining service. For families like Holly Reynolds-Lees, the disruption has been more than inconvenient. It's been a spring break nightmare, with missed flights and long lines leaving travelers scrambling for alternatives. This remains a developing story, as airports and the Department of Homeland Security work to restore regular operations. This is Streaming News Network. The U.S. Senate blocked a Democratic effort Tuesday to prevent President Donald Trump from using military force against Cuba without congressional approval. The resolution, introduced by Senators Ruben Gallego of Arizona, Tim Kaine of Virginia, and Adam Schiff of California, aimed to stop Trump from pursuing military action after ordering a naval blockade of the island nation. Senate Republicans voted 51-47 to uphold an objection raised by Senator Rick Scott of Florida, effectively killing the measure. Scott called the resolution out of touch and said the president has not suggested deploying troops to Cuba. Only Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Rand Paul of Kentucky joined Democrats in supporting the measure. Centrist Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was the lone Democrat to side with Republicans. Democratic lawmakers warned the blockade and Trump's comments, saying, "Cuba's next," during a summit in Miami, could signal U.S. plans to intervene. Senator Kaine argued that Cuba poses no national security threat and that a military strike would be aimed solely at regime change, which he said should require a congressional debate. This marks the latest of several votes in which Senate Republicans have blocked Democratic efforts to limit the president's military authority under the War Powers Act, most recently with Venezuela and previously with Iran. The debate underscores ongoing tension in Washington over the balance of military power between Congress and the president. This is Streaming News Network. At Tuesday's state dinner honoring King Charles III and Queen Camilla, President Donald Trump stirred diplomatic conversation by claiming the British monarch agreed with him that Iran must never obtain nuclear weapons. Speaking to the audience, Trump described a private meeting with King Charles, saying the king agreed with me, even more than I do, on preventing Iran from developing a nuclear arsenal. While the sentiment aligns with long-standing policy, British pundits and officials noted that sharing private discussions with the sovereign is considered a breach of protocol. Craig Prescott, a constitutional law expert, said such conversations are traditionally kept behind closed doors to ensure the monarch remains above political debates. Buckingham Palace emphasized that King Charles was merely reflecting the UK government's long-standing stance against nuclear proliferation. The state dinner followed the King's address to a joint session of Congress, which received repeated standing ovations for highlighting the U.S.-UK alliance while touching on NATO, support for Ukraine, and climate action. As the royal visit moves from Washington to New York, the focus is shifting toward culture and the city's creative industries, allowing officials to leave the most politically sensitive moments behind. Experts say, if this remains the only controversy, the visit can already be considered a success in strengthening U.K.-U.S. ties. This is Streaming News Network. Nearly 42 years ago, comedian Johnny Carson chose unity over punchlines in the aftermath of an assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan. A video of Carson's 1981 Oscars monologue has resurfaced online, drawing nearly 800,000 views, as Americans reflect on a recent attempt on President Donald Trump's life. Carson explained that the Academy Awards had been postponed by 24 hours following John Hinckley Jr.'s attack at the Washington Hilton Hotel, the same location as this weekend's incident. Carson noted that Reagan, though seriously wounded, remained in excellent condition and continued conducting business from his hospital bed, even cracking jokes despite his injuries. "All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia," he wrote on a sheet of paper while recovering, Carson recalled, underscoring the president's resilience and the importance of carrying on. The clip has resurfaced amid criticism of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, who recently made a joke about First Lady Melania Trump. The comments spread widely online following this weekend's attack, prompting the First Lady to call for Kimmel to be fired for what she described as hateful remarks. The contrast between Carson's response and today's reactions highlights enduring questions about humor, respect, and unity during moments of national crisis. This is Streaming News Network. Sad news out of Los Angeles tonight, where the daughter of late television icon Peter Falk has died at the age of 60. Authorities say Jacqueline Falk, the adopted daughter of the Emmy-winning actor, was found deceased in her Los Angeles home on Monday, April 27. According to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, her death has been ruled a suicide, with the cause identified as hanging. At this time, officials have not released information regarding whether a note was left, and details surrounding funeral arrangements have not yet been made public. Jacqueline was one of two daughters adopted by Falk and his first wife, Alice Mayo, during their marriage, which began in 1960. She is survived by her sister, Catherine. Her father, Peter Falk, passed away in 2011 at the age of 83. He was widely celebrated for his role as Lieutenant Columbo in the long-running television series Columbo, which aired from 1968 through 2003 and became a staple of American television. This is Streaming News Network. Reality television personality Shirlene King Pearson, widely known as Ms. Juicy from Little Women, Atlanta, was arrested in Georgia last week on driving-related charges. Authorities in Winder say the 54-year-old was taken into custody on April 18 and charged with operating a vehicle while her license was suspended, as well as driving without insurance. Officials noted that due to her stature, she was restrained with her hands secured in front. King Pearson was released the following day after posting bond. The amount has not been disclosed, and law enforcement has not provided further details. She has not publicly commented on the incident. Beyond her television career, King Pearson has worked as a talent manager and radio personality, spending more than a decade on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show before departing in 2019. In recent years, she has faced serious health challenges. In April of 2022, she suffered a stroke and later revealed complications from a brain bleed that impacted both motor and cognitive functions. King Pearson rose to prominence after joining Little Women, Atlanta in 2016, becoming a fan favorite during the show's run through 2021. She has often spoken about using her platform to raise awareness and promote understanding. Since the arrest, she has remained active on social media, engaging with her followers and promoting personalized video messages. This is Streaming News Network. Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is drawing attention online tonight, not for legislation, but for her wardrobe. A photo circulating on the social media platform X shows Boebert standing on the steps of Congress wearing a fitted dress paired with a white button-up shirt and high heels. The image quickly sparked debate, with critics questioning whether the outfit was appropriate for a government setting. Some users mocked the look, comparing it to attire more suited for nightlife rather than official duties. Others speculated the dress resembled styles commonly found in retail chains like Forever 21, fueling further commentary online. The dress, reportedly made of leather with a front zipper design, has been described in online listings as a versatile piece intended for both daytime and evening wear. Still, that has not stopped a wave of criticism and satire across social media. Posts ranged from humorous observations to sharper critiques, with some users suggesting the outfit did not align with traditional expectations for professional attire in Congress. Congresswoman Boebert has not publicly responded to the online reaction. While fashion is rarely at the center of political discourse, the viral moment highlights how quickly public figures can become the subject of widespread commentary in the digital age. This is Streaming News Network. Actress Linda Kozlowski, best known for her breakout role in the classic film Crocodile Dundee, is once again drawing attention, this time for her life away from Hollywood. Kozlowski, now 68, rose to fame portraying journalist Sue Charlton opposite Paul Hogan, who starred as the rugged Australian adventurer Mick Dundee. The film became a defining hit of the 1980s and led to successful sequels, including Crocodile Dundee 2 and Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Despite her early success, Kozlowski chose to step away from the entertainment industry, opting for a more private life outside the spotlight. In recent years, she has resurfaced on social media, where fans have noted her updated appearance and lifestyle. Now sporting a different look from her on-screen days, Kozlowski remains connected with followers through personal updates and photos, offering a glimpse into her life decades after her rise to fame. While she may have left Hollywood behind, her role in Crocodile Dundee continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Pop superstar Billie Eilish is setting the record straight about her relationship with her brother and longtime collaborator, Finneas O'Connell. In a recent interview, Eilish addressed rumors suggesting the siblings had a falling out, firmly denying the claims. She emphasized that while disagreements do happen, their bond remains strong, describing their dynamic as typical of close siblings, intense at times, but quick to recover. Eilish also made it clear just how vital her brother is to her creative process, saying she could not imagine making music without him. The pair have worked closely together throughout her career, including on her latest album, Hit Me Hard and Soft. However, the two have recently explored more independence. During Eilish's latest tour, they spent less time together off stage, allowing O'Connell to focus on his own solo music and touring efforts. Despite that distance, both say their connection remains deeply rooted in trust and collaboration. O'Connell, who has earned multiple Grammy Awards alongside his sister, shared that their relationship is built on openness and mutual respect. He also admitted missing her while she was on tour, even making appearances at select shows. Fans will soon get a closer look at their dynamic in the upcoming concert film, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft. The tour, Live in 3D, directed by James Cameron, which is set to arrive in theaters on May 8. For now, both artists continue to balance individual pursuits while maintaining one of music's most closely watched creative partnerships. This has been Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.